Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 17, indexes. This chapter is divided into two lessons: create index and view index informations from data dictionary views and how to drop an index. In this lesson we are going to learn about the index and how to create an index. From previous chapters we learned about table, we learned about view, we learned about sequences, we learned about synonyms, and here we are going to learn about index, which is used to improve the performance of data retrieval queries on tables. Oracle index, it works very similar to the index in the back of a book. Let's assume that you have a book that contains 400 pages and there is no index on the book. In this case, to find out on which page or on which pages your topic exists, you have to search page by page, one by one, until you find out the topic that you are searching. So imagine how much time it takes to find out the topic in this case. But if you have a book with an index and you want to search on a specific topic, you can access the index, find out the topic in which pages mentioned, and then go back to the pages to find your topic. So in this case, if you have a book with an index, the time for searching on a specific topic is very low comparing with the time it takes to search on a topic without an index. Index on Oracle is similar to the index in the back of a book. It's used by Oracle Database Server to speed up the queries. It reduces disk input-output by providing fast access to rows. It is created on a table. If the table dropped, the indexes created on the table will be also dropped. Indexes created automatically for each primary and unique key constraint. If you create a primary key, for example, on employee ID, index on the employee ID will be created automatically. If you also create, for example, a unique key on the email column, an index will also be created on that column. You can also create indexes manually by using create index command. To understand how Oracle create an index, let's assume that we have this table, departments table, and we create an index on this column. If the department ID is a primary key, index will be created automatically. The index in this case is binary tree index. To understand how index speed up queries retrieval, we have to understand how the binary index is created. So first of all, the index is created on the department ID. This is a binary tree index. Binary tree means each node is divided into two child nodes. Here, for example, this node is divided into two child nodes. This node is divided into two child nodes. This node is divided into two child nodes. That's why it's called binary tree. The root node, this is the root node, and these are the leaf nodes. The binary tree index created based on the department ID. So let's assume that the root node contains department ID 180. On the left of the node, he will put departments lower than 180. Let's assume that he put department ID 160. To the right, he put departments greater than 180. For example, 220. This is 220 and this is 160, for example. To the left of 160 department ID, he put departments smaller than 160. 20, 40, 80, 150, and so on. To the right of 160, he put departments greater than 160. So for example, 170 and the 160 itself. 220 here, to the right, he put greater than 220, for example, 220, 230, and 270. To the left, he put departments IDs smaller than 220, for example, 180, 190, 200, and 210. If you want to search on department, for example, department 230, this one, without index, you will go to the table row by row. This is called table scan. Is this 220? No. Is this 220? No. Is this 220? No. Row by row for searching the department 230. Is this 220? No. Is this 220? No. Until you find out your department, which is 230. Imagine how much time it takes if the table contains, for example, 1 million records. With index, if you want to search on this department, you will go to the root of the index. Is 230 greater than 180 or smaller than 180? It is greater than 180. So that means this branch not needed. Go to this branch. Is 230 smaller than 220 or greater than 220? It's greater than 220. So don't go to this branch. Go to this branch. So here, this is my department ID 220, and here this is the row ID. The row ID is just a pointer to the record. So he just take the address and access the record directly without scanning the table to find out your record. If you want to search, for example, on department 40, you will go to the root. Is 40 smaller than 180? Yes. So don't go to the right, go to the left. Is 40 smaller than 160? Yes. Don't go to the right, go to the left. So this is the 40 department ID, and this is the row address. He's just pointing to the row in the table. So this is how index works on Oracle. It is very similar to an index in the back of a book. To create an index manual, you can use this create statement, create unique index and index name on table, and specify the columns that you want to create the index. Here we can specify optional unique, or if you don't specify unique, the index will be not unique. Unique index to indicate that the value of the column or columns upon which the index is based must be unique. For example, if you have a column that stores emails and the email values are unique, you can create, in this case, unique index. But if you want to create, for example, an index on the first name or on the last name, and you know there is a duplicate values on the last name and the first name, in this case, don't specify unique. You can just write create index. In this case, the index will be not unique. Also, Oracle create an index automatically on the columns where you specify a primary key or unique key. This is an example to create an index. Create index. This is the name of the index. On this is the table name, and this is the column. So in this case, we create an index on the first name on employees table. We don't specify here unique because there might be two employees having the same first name. In this case, you don't specify unique. If you put unique and there is two employees having the same first name, the create statement will fail. In the second example here, we create a composite index. Create index, this is the name of the index, created on two columns, city and state, on table locations. Function-based index, you can create index, for example, this is the name of the index, on departments, lower department name. So this is called function-based index. A function-based index is based on a function, which is in this case lower or upper. You can use upper, for example. Function-based index will be used to speed up the query when the function is used in the select statement, as this select statement. Select star from departments where lower department underscore name equals sales. So in this case, this select statement will use the function-based index created here. So in this lesson, we learned about the index and how to create an index. I hope this video was informative for you, and thank you for watching.